Okay. Yerushalmi Chagigah Daf Amid Aleph. With the Kalasah, we said Oichel Revi B'Kodesh Nifsel Gufay Miloichel B'Kodesh. So somebody we had some of the same questions we asked yesterday. That Oichel Revi B'Kodesh is Nifsel Gufay Miloichel B'Kodesh. Does he become pasul as a Revi, remain Revi, and now he becomes pasul in Kodesh? So Shemin Adal, as we prove over here, Dom Rabbi Yirmiyah b'Shem Rebba b'Mamal. Also, I say Ka'oichel Oichel Revi b'Kodesh. So see beferish that they made him like an Oichel Revi b'Kodesh. Adam Ra Oichel Revi b'Kodesh. Nifsa Gufim Lech b'Kodesh. So see from over here, somebody eats Revi b'Kodesh. So now he becomes pasul from eating Kodesh. Ad kedaim b'kodshe mikdash hamukdashim. So talking about eating real kodesh. V'afilu b'chulin shenas al tarsa kodesh. Let's say he eats chulin, which shenas al tarsa kodesh, and they have what would be the equivalent kodesh of a revi. So what do we do? So what do we do? What about that case? Is there such a thing as a real revi by chulin that shenas al tarsa kodesh, or not? So Shnimi Adol, let's see if we can prove from over here. The thing time we learned Hashechet Behemah B'Chai V'Oiv L'Yotze Mehen Daham. So a guy shechts a behema, let's say, and there's no dam for whatever reason. So usually it's liquid, which is machshir the item to be mekabel toma. So, but in this case, no dam ever came out. So ksherin v'necholin v'yadayim mitzvahs the kosher, and they can be eaten even with tummy hands, because they will nuchshu lekabel with dam. Shimon says huchshru b'shchita. No, the shchita is actually machshadim, since the shchita is what renders it food. So therefore, it's also machshit lekabel tuma. So now, what are we talking about over here? So we must be talking about this case of the shechita. Must be talking about chulin shed naso al taras hakodesh, and Rebbe Lezer Taka b'Shem Rebbe Shem Masnita b'chulin shed naso al gav hakodesh k'Rebbe Yeshua, and it's going like Rebbe Yeshua will be goris. So over here, what we're saying is that in this case over here, the right, the dime here, like what can we talking about with? So it's saying the you have the dime here are shnius, right? The normal xeris are something kabel tumah. So the dime stami dime are considered to be a sheni latama. And now once something becomes, if there's an item that becomes if that's susceptible to tama, these shnius, the dime shnius, can cause to become a shlishi. Now, obviously, over here, if we're talking about regular chulin can't become a shlishi. So, must be talking about over here a case where it's talking about chulin shenas al taras hakodesh, and we see from over here that it could be it could become a shlishi. Now, we say that when we say that it's this could be going Rabbi Yeshua, that we're saying is that this could even be going like Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Yeshua had said, I'll just read this from the Chaim over here. Rabbi Yeshua, Imeho Oichel Oichel Rishon V'Sheni Sheni Shlishi Sheni L'Kodesh Vein Sheni L'Trum V'Chum Shenasel Taras Truma. Perish. Ha'oichel Oichel Shlishi Nasa Sheni L'Inin Kodesh Shehi Oiser Shlishi Urvi But V'Loi L'Inin Truma Shem Negeh B'Truma Eino Oiser Shlishi. So what we're saying is over there is that chulin that's nasal taris truma that has a shlishi. But if it's according to it seems to be over there, according to Yeshua, if it's not nasu it's only dafka if it's nasu taris truma, but as opposed to being nasu taris hakodesh. So what we're saying goes is no, we can say it's going even according to Rabbi Yeshua. What he's saying is you can have truma that's altaris truma, and zichi you can have no, it's a kol shekin you can have truma altaris hakodesh as well. Rabbi Zir, Rabbi Yasser, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yanai, B'Shem Rabbi, Ha'oich Loichel Shlishi, Be'Kodesh, the guys over here, Nifsel Gufay Miloichel Be'Kodesh. So somebody who eats Shlishi Be'Kodesh, so now he can't eat, he's considered to be tummy and he can't eat Kodesh. This is what's the Chiddush? Lemas Niti, Shlishi Sheni Le'Kodesh. Shlishi still can cause toma the kodesh. So what's the chiddush over here? We see this beferish over here that a shlishi means his guf. If he eats a shlishi, then for all intents and purposes, his body becomes a sheni, and his body becomes a sheni toma, and he can make even a shlishi and revi. No, so the Gemara says, "And the Gemara must need to be kodesh make tosh hamukudashin." That we're talking about real Kaddish. The Rabbah, so the Memlucha is coming to teach you a bigger Kaddish over here. I feel with Chulin Shanas like have a Kaddish, this would apply. In other words, when we say that a person is eating Chulin Taras Kaddish, it becomes exactly like the Chulin become exactly like Kaddish. Amra Bambachia, Kumirev Zur, Masnita Amra Kain. What do we see in the Mishnah? It says Kikaris HaKadosh, B'toich Gumoy Seim, Hamayim Mekudashim. You have Kikaris HaKadosh, these loaves, that are Kaddish, and they sit in these kind of like a cupcake holders, and there's water in them. So what happens is, if they become tamei, they cause the water, the liquid that they're in, to revert to being a rishon. Anything that causes tama automatically causes a liquid to become a rishon. And now that rishon in turn goes and is metama the kikaris that are there. So we already know this as well. So what's again, what's the chiddush? So we see over here that a that liquid over here is metama. So again, this is something we already know also. So what's the chiddush over that liquid can cause the tama? We know that already. So bash l'cha, asa mem l'cha, asa mashke piv, kimashke kodesh. This is what it's bad that he's giving you a chiddush. The chiddush over here is that his own saliva causes the tum. In other words, when we said a person eats a shlishi, his guf becomes a sheni l'truma. So basically, his own saliva is causing the tum over here, and that's the chiddush as opposed to outside liquids. So, and that's what they're coming to teach us over here. Amr Rav Zir, kemo dato matamon, osas ator lechatas. Kimei chatas ukeife chatas. Somebody who's tar for the paraduma, he adapts all the chumras of mechatas and efe chatas. V'ocha osa mashke piv kimashke kodesh. So he made mashke piv kimashke kodesh. Thus he adapts all the chumras of kodesh regards to Trum to Tuma. Rabbi Zira, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yana, V'lo Yad, and in Mati, this is a little bit of a slightly different version. It was saying in Mati, Ba, B'Shem Rabbi, V'oseh B'Shem Rabbi, Masnita, Mino Kiyuma, or Mino Tavra. Actually, from we can have, from the Mishnah, you can have, it's a raya, but at the same time, it can also be a knockdown of what we just said. Mina kiyuma shashlishi sheni lekodesh. Bein sheni truma shenasa trus letaris hatruma. What's the key? And we see shashlishi sheni lekodesh. Shlishi has a din of sheni when it comes to kodesh. Bein sheni truma shenasa letaris truma. Avlim nasa letaris hakodesh. So then nasa gufa sheni eitz al hakodesh. So you see from over here that chulin shenasu al taris hakodesh can be done either for truma, but it can be done both for truma and for kodesh. We know tavra, however, from here I can also take that shita, knock that shita out. Shashlishi sheni l'kodesh. However, v'lo sheni l'truma shenasas l'taris hatruma. Avolim nasel taris HaKodesh. Nasa Gufa Sheni Eitzel Truma, Bechol Shekain Eitzel Hegdish. Right, so this would slug up Reb Zira, because we see it only passels, it doesn't passel, right? Now a Gufa Sheni Eitzel Truma. In other words, one passel Truma, Bechol Shekain Eitzel Hegdish, where it will passel Hegdish. Fine. Tan Rav Yossi Menai Rav Kodesh who pasel. How do you know Rav Kodesh is what pasels? V'dinu. So kavachayma. Ma mechus kippurim sheino paisel betruma. Arei paisel bekodesh. Ma mechus kippurim. Someone didn't bring the proper karbanis. He will pasel. He does not pasel truma. Right? He can eat truma. Arei paisel bekodesh. Lishi. Shehu paisel betruma. Shlishi can still pasel truma. We just saw. And he didn't. Shivsel bekodesh. Certainly should pasel bekodesh. Arei lamadnu l'shlishi min akosov. So see, Shlishi is learned. We know from the pasuk, and Revi is a kavachayim from Shlishi, and what Chaim points out over here, this is not a question of daya or livim, daya lovin adinus kenidon, because we don't say daya if you're destroying the kavachayim, and over here. Over here, we already know they can't become to teach us that Kodesh becomes possible with Shlishi. That I don't need a Kavachim for that. So the Kavachim is coming to teach me the specific halacha of the Revi'i. And if I take away the Kavachim, I don't have the halacha anymore. So in that case, you don't say that yet.